No woman wants to be with a man who wants her just for sex. You might be asking yourself, does he just want sex? Is he using me? Are there signs that tells he's just there for sex? The answer is yes, there are signs. And in this video, we will reveal for you 11 signs that tells you he is just there for sex and nothing more. So keep on watching. Hello everyone and welcome to Resistant Romance channel, where we will help you achieve the happiest relationship with your partner. Make sure to hit the subscribe and bell buttons not to miss our secret tips and tricks. Before we dive into the signs, we want to let you know that one single sign alone is not an indication. If a guy is doing everything perfectly and fails in one, then he's having a challenge. While if he's doing all or most of them, then this is a red flag. So now let's check those signs together. Number 1, he talks about nothing but sex. This is the first and most obvious sign. A man who's just there for sex will talk and discuss nothing with you except sex. He's not ready to communicate with you or see what you want or need. He is simply selfish and he just wants nothing but sex. A man like this will never dive into real deep discussions. He will never care about how was your day, things you do, your hobbies, etc. All he will do is he will highlight sexual things only when you talk together. Even if you tried from your side to have a deeper conversation, you will find him flipping the conversation and find a way to get it back to sex. If that happened, you have to talk with him about it and bring your standards to the table and see his reaction. You should tell him that you need to see he is interested in having a conversation with you about other stuff, so you can know that he's taking you seriously and not just for sex. If the guy's sincere, he will accept it and you will see a change. Let's check the next sign right now, which is even a more clear sign, which is number 2, he always mentions your looks over your personality. We all know that men are physical creatures, and it's very important for you as a woman for sure to take care of your looks and strive to always look the best, as it is a big part of your femininity. However, a man who really loves you and cares for you will be keen to discover every other aspect about you and notice the cute things about you. He compliments your look and also compliments your smile, how smart you are, and how successful you are, etc. If a guy never noticed anything about you but just your looks, then this is a red flag. He is just into you for sex and nothing more. The next sign is a big red flag and you should never ignore it, which is number 3, canceling when sex is not available. Sometimes sex might not be an option, like when you have your period or so tired, etc. In this case, you will find him canceling the time with you. He's just there for one thing and only one thing alone, which is sex. He doesn't care about spending the time with you as a human and as a woman in a non-sexual way. For him, the only value you bring to him is sex, and he's not ready to put any work or any time for a real relationship with its ups and downs. He doesn't care about you. The next sign is essential for you as a woman, and a man who ignores it is a selfish man who is there just for sex, which is number 4, he never invests in foreplay. Foreplay or outer course is any pre-sex warm-up activity like kissing, hugging, cuddling, etc. Foreplay is very important as it is a sort of a physical and emotional connection that prepares the mind and body for sex. It is known that foreplay is more important for women than men, as it takes a woman more time to reach orgasm. A man can think about sex and he can have an erection right away, while women need foreplay and longer time to feel ready for sex. So, if the guy never invests in foreplay and he's keen on pleasing you and making you happy, this means he only cares about his needs for sex and he ignores anything that matters for you. If he skips foreplay even when you mention, then this is a sign he's just there for sex and nothing more. Sign number 5 is very important and you need to focus on it, as he might be manipulating you, and this one will expose his real intentions, which is number 5, he never takes you out. A man who is really in love with you and wants to have a real relationship with you will be happy to show you off to the whole world. He will have a sense of pride and happiness that he's walking right next to you. While a guy who's just there for sex, he will ask you to meet at places where no one will see you. Maybe at his house or your house or a hotel. He will never take you in public. He will never show you to the world. You will find him making no effort at all to take you out. He might agree that you go out, yet every single time he has an excuse to cancel the plan and replace it with you both together at his or your room. If you notice that, you should talk with him about it and get to know the reason. The guy might already be in a relationship and he wants to keep you a secret, so the other woman won't find out about it. Maybe he's not proud of you and you should never agree to be in this situation. Let's check the next sign, which is extremely important, which is number 6. He never lets you into his world. This means that he is secretive about the relationship with you. You never meet his friends, family, or meet people that he knows. He never shares anything about his life with you. In other words, he is limiting your access to his life because he simply doesn't want you to be in his life. A man who loves you and wants a real relationship with you will open up for you. He will share things with you. He will share with you how his day goes, what things he does, and introduces you to people he knows. He will just keep you by his side when sex is not included. Let's check the next sign, which is one of the most important signs that you need to put in consideration and never skip it, which is number 7. He's only available when it matches his plans. A man who really loves you and cares about you will always keep you in consideration when taking any decision. He will make sure that whatever plans he has in mind, it would match both of you. A man who is just there for sex will just be there when the time is appropriate for him alone, and he will ignore that you are there and you have a life and schedule. He never tried to make time for you. It is always about him and him alone. For him, you are nothing. You are just there for one task and one task alone, which is sex. All the benefit he sees in a relationship with you is just sex. That's why he's not interested in spending any more time doing anything else with you. The next sign is one of the most important signs, which is number 8. He never states his intentions for the relationship with you. The fact, ladies, is that no man is able to say it out and clear that he just wants you for sex, because they will end up not getting what they want. So, for them to get what they want, they simply refrain from stating out loud and clearly what their intentions are. By that, they can manipulate you and use you to get what they want. A very famous sentence those kind of men use will be like, let's go with the flow, let's not define anything right now. The next sign as well is one of the very common and very important signs you should never ignore, which is number 9. He's not committed to you. This point relates to the previous one. A man who's not there into you will simply avoid naming the relationship as stated in the previous point. He will say, let's go with the flow, etc. As well, if you have been together for a while and you try to get him to name the relationship, he will refrain from that. A committed relationship has trust, where a partner is dedicated to one person only. However, if a man wants to have sex only with you, this means that he wants his options to be open to have sex with other women as well. And, as well, he didn't find the woman whom he's ready to be with and with her alone. So, in other words, he wants to keep all his options open. He's not ready for any kind of commitment here. Number 10. He never asks you any serious questions to get to know you better. A guy who thinks you are a wife material will always try to discover new areas about you. He will ask you about your hobbies, how you spend your time, what you love to do, where you love to go, your favorite food, your favorite color, etc. He's keen on discovering more about you, and he even strives to use this data to make you even happier. He would invest in sharing those things with you, while a guy who's just there for sex everything he mentions or talks about is just about sex. He's not interested in discovering anything beyond sex-related discussions. If you want to have a happy life with your guy and live the life you've always dreamt of as a woman, then we highly recommend you to check our best recommended program that will help you achieve this in no time. So please make sure to check the link that we have left for you in the description box below the video. Now let's check the next sign that he's just there for sex, which is number 11. He never spends the night with you. A guy who loves you will want to stick around you after sex. He would want to stay beside you and sleep the night right next to you. He loves you and he cares for you and wants to see your beautiful smile when you wake up. A guy who's there for sex will just leave after he finishes, or he will push you to leave if you are at his place. He just got what he wants and doesn't care about anything else. A man who really loves you wants to be around you and he enjoys your company. Sex is a part of the whole thing. He wants all of you, with and without sex. You have to understand that the way a man is treating you is the way how he feels about you. If he really likes you and is into you, he will want to be with and around you. He will want to be there in good and bad times. You mean the world to him. However, if he's not into you, he will ignore you, cancel appointments, ignore you emotionally, use you only for sex, etc. However, we have to mention that sex is still a very important part in a relationship. Yet, you should be so smart that you share it with only the type of men that deserve it. So, if the guy you are with doesn't have the signs we mentioned in this video, that means he's a husband material and consequently, he deserves you invest in giving him the best experience he could ever fascinate about when it comes to sex. That is why it is very important to watch the next video where we will tell you the list of things a man is dying for in bed. So click and watch the next video right now.